Hey, my loves. Welcome to my internet home. My name is Tesh, and today I want to talk about the spiritual awakening and the different phases of the spiritual awakening. So, the first phase of the spiritual awakening is the awakening, is when we wake up. And usually, this will occur through some type of trauma that we have gone through. Some people may just wake up. And during this awakening, you start asking questions, you start seeing synchronicities. But the wake up phase is usually pretty quick. It usually happens within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but you will just wake up. Your mind will evolve past this everyday construct that we have built our lives around and all the rules and regulations that we have built our lives around. Now, the second phase is the happy phase, or I will call it the joyous or the blissful phase. And this phase is when you start noticing the synchronicities more, you start paying attention to the universe, you start listening to the birds, you start grounding yourself, you start meditating. And this is usually a very happy phase. You're usually in awe of the universe at this point. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know all of this was happening around me. And I am now aware of it. I am now in tune with it. And you get very, very happy about it. You feel like you're a chosen one. And you are. The universe is choosing you at this point in your life to awaken your soul so that you can now follow your life path. So right after you come through this phase, and this phase, I would say, would last a good, I'll say a couple of weeks to a few months. It's not really long. You may last about 2 months in this happy phase. It's beautiful, but it doesn't last long because then reality sets in. Life really truly sets in the decisions that we've made. So now the hard work begins, and we go through this phase called the dark night of the soul. And you'll hear that term a lot in spirituality. And what this phase does is it takes you within yourself. So you have these experiences, which are awful experiences. And during these awful experiences, you will start questioning the choices and decisions that you make. And the universe will keep on having you in these experiences over and over and over again until you fully learn your lesson. And during your spiritual awakening, you're so aware of your behavior that you start doing the shadow work to get out of those experiences. That's when the shadow work begins. That's when you start seeking advice and healing, and you start lighting candles and you start meditating, because a lot of times you feel like the universe is stripping everything away from you. You feel like you're being punished, like you're going to die, or you may even want to die because you can't even take no more. I mean, I remember just telling God, if this all you got, let me just take me now, because I can't do no more. Like, it was that bad. I mean, can you imagine going through a divorce? You have 4 children, and it's just thing after thing after thing. You're trying to survive on your own. You've let your businesses fail because you were depressed with your divorce. So now it was like a whole, y'all don't need to listen to my story. It was a lot. And when you're going through yours, it will be a lot as well. And during this time, when you're going through this dark night of the soul, not only are you dealing with the outside life experiences, but then you're working with yourself. That's when you're spending the most time alone, and you'll go through this hermit phase where you just want to separate from anyone that brings you trauma. You'll start cutting off friends and family members who disrespect you or make you feel a certain type of way. You'll start distancing yourself from people. You'll be very aware of people who bring the drama into your life, to say it nicely, okay? And when you get aware of those people, at that point you will disperse them or move on or break up, whatever it is, to get away from specific energies. And you'll start to want to attract and surround yourself with people who are more like you, that act more like you, who live more like you, and that's really the goal, is to get you around your soul group. Let me be clear about the dark night of the soul journey. This is not a time to fight the funk, okay? Your soul will win. If it's not this lifetime, it will be the next lifetime. So you will be reborn again and go through the same experiences again. I'm just saying. And have to then relearn these experiences again. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. The soul will win. There's no soul left behind in this journey. You remember when Bush used to say, no child was left behind? Honey, there is no soul left behind in this journey. So the soul will accomplish its goal. Let it be this lifetime or the next one. And if you're one of those that keep repeating the cycle or is afraid to take the jump, then you'll be redoing it over and over again until you die. And then you'll get reborn and redo it over and over again until you learn, okay? What I've noticed in this dark night of the soul journey is the depression that will set in. The depression that will set in, it's very, very serious. That's why I'm kind of sticking on this one a little bit, because I know that a lot of people will start their spiritual journey, and then when they get into the dark night of the soul, because it may last long, they'll head back to what they previously know, because that's comfortable for them. So that's when you'll see a lot of spiritual people on YouTube saying, I'm going back to church because spirituality wasn't for me. Depending on how you were going at it, it probably wasn't. Or you probably just weren't doing your shadow work. And a lot of times it gets hard, it gets scary, and you have to do what's comfortable for you. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But the bottom line is, this is not for the faint at heart. When the universe is awakening your soul, it's time to awaken. And this part will last from 6 months to about 2 years. And let me say this, you may have more than one dark night of the soul moment. You may have one long one in the beginning of your spiritual awakening, and then at the end you may have another moment where you have a couple of days of the dark night of the soul, just to filter out any last kinks that you may have not cleared out. Okay. The third phase of the spiritual awakening is what I would like to call empty space. It's like a voided space. And what occurs is we're in between worlds, between the old world and the new world. In this phase, you will notice a lot of doors closing, a lot of no's from the universe. This will be extremely scary, because you will be asking, like, did I do something wrong? You'll be questioning why certain doors are closing. Why are they making you close down your business? Why are you losing your job? Why is this happening? And why is this relationship with this person ending? And the reason why is because the universe is guiding you towards your new life. And a lot of times during this phase of emptiness, we are not able to really make a move. The universe is putting us in a small little cocoon, a little basket. I have a tarot card that I love to use as the void. This is the best way I can explain the emptiness or the voided phase of the spiritual awakening, where the universe is really protecting you. You think you're losing. You think, oh my God, I just lost my job. Oh my God, my man is leaving me. My woman is leaving me. Oh my goodness, my business is shutting down, and it's nothing I can do about it. And there truly isn't nothing you can do about it. And it's because the universe is now cocooning you and giving you this opportunity to really rest. It's really what it is. It's time to rest. You've just gone through a deep, long journey with your soul. And the universe is saying, we're putting you in a position, baby, to rest. Yes. We're putting you in this position to rest and to find your way. and to get you on the proper journey in the proper area, to be around the proper soul group. Okay? And while you're having this moment, the universe is, so it's scary because you're the only one in it. Your children can't come. They might be with you on the journey, but they won't be with you while the universe is cocooning you. Now, they will be protected, of course. They're living in the house, you know, they won't go anywhere, but this is about your soul, okay? And this is, whenever I see this Four of Swords card, I always think about that part of the spiritual awakening where the universe is just protecting you and preparing you for your next journey. And it's scary as hell because you're losing a lot. You see, she's in the basket with nothing but her little heartstring. That's all she has is her heartstrings. That's her children, okay? Other than that, everything else and everybody else is gone. And the universe is protecting and preparing her for the next phase. And during this phase, it could last every bit of 6 months to 2 years, where the universe is protecting you, guiding you, cocooning you, preparing you, redirecting you, shutting old doors, literally, and opening new ones. And when the new doors open, you're like, wow, you didn't even know life could be so good. So let the doors shut. Okay, let the doors shut. Anyway, the next phase of your spiritual awakening is the phase where you get grounded in your new. Okay, the universe has now placed you in your new spot and you're now learning the terrain. You're venturing out now. You're heading different places. You're now meeting new people. You're surrounding yourself with new soul groups, new environments, new home. At this point, you probably have a new home. You may live in a new city. Your businesses may be different. Your job will be different. What your life purpose, you'll be on that journey at that point. So by this point, you kind of know what you're supposed to be doing, and you've started that. You started grounding yourself. You started planting your seeds. You started watering them. And this phase will take a couple of years. So what I would say is take your time. It's no need to rush. By this point, you already know the universe has your back. You already know your spirit guides have your back, and you're doing whatever it takes to show God that you listened and you're doing what it is. You know what I mean? So at this point, you're just grounding yourself. You're focused. You're getting your feet where you're doing what you need to do. And it's a beautiful time to just reintroduce yourself to the world. How wonderful is that? Okay. Now, the final phase of the spiritual awakening is when you're simply just living your life purpose. You're in it. You're living it. You're doing it every day. It's not a question. It's not a what am I going to do today, God? It's thank you, God, for waking me up and I'm ready to hit the ground running and doing what I'm here to do. Let that be doing hair. Let that be plucking eyebrows. Let that be whatever it is. Selling makeup. I don't care what you do, baby. Whatever it is you're here to do, whatever, if it's just to make people smile and feel good about themselves, do that. Because that's what life is about. Your spiritual awakening can happen at any time in your life. Usually I notice that it starts off around your first Saturn return, where the universe may be knocking at the door, giving you those synchronicities, and you may not pay attention to them because you're entrapped and you're in your zone. But eventually you will listen, you will pay attention to the synchronicities, and you will be amazed at how in tune you and the universe are by the time you are in just even your dark night of the soul. You will notice, you will start getting the vibe. You will start learning you. And that's what this is about. Now, the best way to handle your spiritual awakening is to surrender, trust God, and drink a lot of water, okay? That is the best advice I can give you. Other than that, But I want y'all to fully understand that the spiritual awakening is a beautiful experience. It is very hard, but at the end of it, you just feel free. And you know that you can build your life to whatever you want. All right, my loves, I'm going to get off of here. If you'd like to book a reading, if you'd like to book a spell, learn how to do your own spells, visit me at insightbytesh.com. Check out the description box below. And I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Bye, my loves.